Before you can use research to inform your classroom practice, you must first assess the reliability of that research for you and your setting. But how do you do that? Let's talk about it. The first thing you want to do is assess the source of the research. Are you pulling research from a quality, trusted source, one that has taken some steps to eliminate bias? One key thing to look for is peer review. Have other professionals examined this piece of research before it went out? Most of the time, your academic journals are going to be safe, reliable places where you know peer review has happened. Try to avoid things like education blogs where anyone can just post whatever they want. Next, you want to consider the sample size and population. And you want to think about, do the kids in this study look like the kids in my classroom? If there's similarities and comparisons there, then that research might be a good place for you to start in informing your practice. But if they're very different, that research might not be applicable to your situation. Then examine the methodology. Make sure that the researcher used a methodology that sounds right, that they sorted kids into groups, that they compared their performances, and that there were strict walls and protocols in place to make sure that the kids who got an intervention really got the intervention and the kids who didn't stayed isolated so that we can compare the impact of intervention on our kid. Finally, we want to look for biases and limitations. There's always going to be bias in every piece of research that you'll ever find, but we want to make sure that the researcher has taken appropriate steps to limit that bias in their own work. If you find a clearly written bias and limitation section, that's a sign of a quality, skilled researcher who's done really meaningful work. Most importantly, don't be scared of the research. It's not going to hurt you. It's just words on a page. What you have to do is take that in, interpret it, think about it, and apply it in your setting. And the best way to get started is simply to start.